One of the hardest things I've tried to do on my weight loss journey is find quality protein because I'm trying to be big and strong. So I need a whole bunch of it. And I want my protein to taste good. And the problem with trying to find proteins that taste good, you'll find these other protein companies with good tasting protein, but it's a lot of calories in there and it's a lot of sugar in there because that's what they use to make the protein taste good. Boy, we have a friend of the channel, Transparent Labs, and their 100% grass-fed whey protein isolate. 28 grams of protein, that adds up quickly. It's 100% grass-fed, no dyes, no artificial sweeteners, no fillers. It doesn't have that little chalky stuff going on, no weird aftertaste. Everything about this is all natural and it's fantastic. Transparent Labs grass-fed protein is Informed Choice certified, so if you're an athlete, you can take this with confidence knowing that there are no banned substances in your protein. But how about this? Transparent Labs is giving away a free protein starter kit with every grass-fed protein subscription. So that comes with a big tub of protein like this. You get the variety pack with 5 of their top selling flavors so you can find your favorite, and a Transparent Labs shaker bottle, because how else you gonna drink your protein? Transparent Labs trying to save you some money. Click on the link in my description, scan the QR code right now and get 10% off your order, and it's gonna be automatically applied at checkout. Go get some grass-fed protein right now. Keep chasing your goals and come back to this video in 3 months and watch how swole I've gotten. All right? Appreciate you, Transparent Labs. Back to the video. And we are back. Today we're looking at Dante Fowler, formerly of the Washington Football Wizards, formerly of the Dallas Cowboys. He's a Cowboy again. And what I wanted to do was, he was a Dallas Cowboy a couple of years ago under Dan Quinn, and the Cowboys didn't really use him properly. I would say, he was one of the Cowboys' better pass rushers. But he gets to the Washington Football Wizards with Coach Quinn, and he kind of starts and he gets his opportunities, and he's double-digit sack guy now. So what I wanted to do was go back to the Washington Football Wizard film to see where Dante Fowler excelled as double-digit sack guy, like what it looks like when he gets all of his opportunities. What's it look like when he wins? And I just wanted to show y'all 7 different ways Dante wins. There's going to be a combination of sacks, hits, and pressures here. And here's one of the 7 right here. Dante Fowler is really using this to kind of set everything else up, but it's just whooping feet to the outside. And if you have the ability to get upfield and burst and just be quicker than someone on the outside, you can really set up different moves. For example, if he would have set something up here, let me get my arrow for you. If he would have set something up here, boom, look at how the left tackle reacts to him, right? Look at how the left tackle just kind of turns his hips. He's not using great technique here. He's not getting to his landmark. He's not staying square. He's turning. And if your feet are getting close and you turning, then Dante Fowler could really take the inside if he wanted to, but he's not. He's really starting with the whooping from the outside. Now, this wasn't a sack right here, but pressure, step up, move around. I could have just showed you Dante's 10 sacks, but that wouldn't be fun because some of them were effort sacks, some of them were like cleanup sacks, but I think you get the full picture when you look at pressures and hits. I'll show you another. How about this? Same concept, bet. If it's in your toolbox, use it. Work that outside angle. Make these guys overcompensate for how quick you are or how bursty you are off the line of scrimmage. And I just want to make a note of it, man. We're not just looking at Dante Fowler. Look at his opposition. I think that's JC Latham might be. I don't know. Y'all let me know. I don't really watch a whole bunch of Titans. But look at the step here. Boom. JC didn't do a bad job of getting to his landmark. But if you quick, you got to go heavy on the second step, heavy on the third step, right? And one more thing too about Dante, you're not allowed to stop your feet or cross your feet because he'll just get around you quickly if you do. Take a look at JC's feet, and this only happens because he has to overcompensate to get there. Boom. Look at how close his feet got. Bam, bam. Look at how close his feet got. You're not gonna be fast like that. You're not gonna beat Dante like this. You gotta stay, true to your technique. You gotta maintain balance. You gotta maintain square positioning, and Dante Fowler whooping ass on the outside is not going to allow you to do that, because once he starts doing that and it's on film and you know that Dante Fowler gets busy rushing to the outside, then he could do stuff like this. 1, 2, 3 Hey man, slow down, Trevor Penning. You know what I mean? What the bitch you doing all that leaning for, man? Dante Fowler does a fantastic job of not only spinning, because sometimes you could just spin and not set up the spin and you get caught on your spin, but Dante is gonna attack the outside hand as if he's going outside. Boom, he's gonna work back inside for the leverage. Bam, then he's gonna clear Trevor's inside hand. Why? Because Dante is going inside. And I think this all starts with attacking the outside hand, giving the illusion that I'm working upfield, because this looks like Dante Fowler is about to work upfield and just get to your outside hip. It looks that way. And part of spins and counters is making everything look one way. So at this point, if you're Trevor Penning, in your mind, all right, he's working to my outside, I need to do something. And honestly, if you the quarterback too, who was that, Shane Buechele or something like that, he in the league, I don't know. If you the quarterback, you kind of feel Dante, it'll make you step up into the pocket. But that's kind of what Dante wanted in this particular situation. Dante working upfield, boom, back inside, bam. Does he get the sack right here? Get some hands on him. I don't know if that's counted as a sack or pressure or anything like that. But just because it may or may not be a sack, pressures are important, hits are important. I'll watch it one more time because we ain't doing nothing else. Fantastic. Here's another thing that you get to do if you whooping feet to the outside. Mind you, him being quick and bursty and quick to the outside sets everything else up. This is what you get to do when you quick and bursty and ball get offy to the outside, is that you make people overcompensate. Then you get to hit them with the old strength. Boom. Well, pardon me, speed to power. I said strength to power. Speed to power. You can hit people with speed to power when they're so concerned about your outside rush. Take a look at Rosengarten right here. Bam. He's going to give them that I'm going to fly to get to you. I have to fly in order to get to you. But sometimes when you fly in order to get to people, you may not bring the base. You may not bring the hips. You brought the feet, but you ain't bring the hips. And now you got to deal with a Dante Fowler bull rush. Easy. How about this? Dante Fowler, left side of your screen, same concept really, working up the speed into the power. And this time Dante decided to go to the power a little bit early. Boom, 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 boom. And he's just kind of going to run through this inside gap of 75 here. Now it ain't like Dante had like another counter off of this move. That is something I noticed about Dante. Once he comes up with like a move off of his first move, like that's it. He ain't got 3-4 moves, which is okay. Everybody ain't got to have 3 or 4 moves. You know, if your first 2 work well, you ain't got to have 3 and 4. And Dante in this situation, I kind of like it a little bit more because it's not like he gave the left tackle time to react, right? It's boom. And as soon as we get out of our stance, I'm going through you, right? So now that I'm going through you, I have an opportunity to get to you before you get set. So now you're kind of high in your stance and I'm winning the leverage battle. And, you know, Dante may not be more powerful than this guy on a regular day, but he is now because he's decided to set you up with speed and, you know, whooping feet to the outside, but now he's working the inside all the way to the sack. Also, too, I just want to say, and I cannot stress this enough, Dante Fowler is doing this as the lead guy. Okay, let me just be clear with that. I think Luvu and Dorrance Armstrong are kind of like his pass rush mates on this D-line somewhere. That's fine. But now Dante gets to be the second guy to Micah Parsons, and Donovan's going to get involved, and Sam Williams going to get involved. Osa's going to be whooping ass in the middle. I think Donovan's pass rush situation is going to be much more comfortable than it was in Washington. And here's a fourth way Dante Fowler got to the quarterback. Here he is to the outside. I just run the play, and then we'll come back and talk about you. And look, I'll tell you what, I didn't expect Dante Fowler to have a good long arm, right? Just him drawing extension here, right, off the rush. And look, this, once again, it comes from whooping feet upfield, right? So Dante Fowler on the snap of the ball is going to work upfield. Bam, but this is kind of like speed to power, right? Like he's going to work into the tackle now. What's important is once we get there, then we're going to long arm and create extension. Now, once we create extension, if I'm a long arm character and I create extension, then you're not going to be able to get your hands on me, even though I got hands on you because I'm long arming and creating extension. It's your job as the offensive lineman to attack the arm, and you can do a lot of different ways to attack the arm. You can club the arm, you can grab the wrist, or you can just not let Dante get the long arm on you in the first place. But now we're operating from this stance of the left tackle let Dante Fowler get the long arm on him. So now, since we know and we have the information that Dante was allowed to get the long arm all up in the left tackle's chest here, all Dante got to do is release, and Dante chose to release with a rip move under. Now, he didn't get the sack on Watson here because Watson can be annoying with his, with his pocket movement. It is what it is, but he was able to get a good pressure, a good pocket flush, and it probably would have been a sack any other time. Let's keep watching. One more for the long arm. We ain't doing nothing else. Dante Fowler's going to work upfield. Mind you, he's starting off with whooping feet upfield. That's what Dante does. And we notice a pattern with the long arms. And y'all can go to NFL, Game Pass or whatever it's called. And when you watch your film, just think about Dante Fowler getting upfield with the speed, long arming just to get back inside, right? Dante is not long arming and staying outside, or he's not long arming and running through somebody. He uses his inside long arm as a way to get back inside, right? You see what we're doing here, right? Work outside, work outside, work outside. Boom, long arm, extend. You can't get hands on me. I got hands on you. Get back inside, and whether it be a rip, swim, swipe, whatever it is, Dante Fowler likes to go to that move. He didn't get a sack off these moves when I saw him do these moves. He's done it a bunch. Sometimes he gets caught, sometimes he doesn't. But when he does long arm, he's trying to work back inside. Maybe as a Cowboy, when we see this move, he'll get a sack from it. Maybe. I'll tell you what, when I started thinking about pass rush plans and NASCAR packages, in-game and all that kind of stuff, I did anticipate Dante Fowler lining up inside, because in my mind, Dante Fowler is one of your smaller bursty characters, and maybe the smaller bursty characters can rush from the outside, and maybe the ends like Marshawn Neal and Peyton Turner, like those bigger guys, they can rush from the inside. I was surprised to see Dante Fowler rushing from inside. I didn't have that on my bingo card there, but he's lined up over the left guard, and it's the same concept like when Micah rushes inside, right? You know, sometimes I could use power, but I'm just going to use quickness from the inside because you're a guard and you may be a little more slow-footed there. Also, too, something to think about that the Washington Football Wizards did that I could see the Cowboys kind of doing. If we're having Dante rush from that circle too big, we got Dante rushing from the inside. Of course, he's not big. So you don't want the left tackle and the left guard to kind of work together to smush people. So in order for Dante to have room in B gap, we're probably going to line up a corresponding edge guy a little bit wider, like in a wide 9 type deal. So that way, if he's going to be wide 9, we're going to get a lot more space from the left tackle working this way. If the left tackle just had to work back a little bit, then all this gets cluttered, and Dante and B gap probably wouldn't be effective. But we got a guy wide, so the left tackle probably has to get a little wider on purpose, and then that's when Dante has a little more room to operate. Take a look, see, boom, see how 71 has to get way wide out there? See how 71 got to get a little more wide because that's where his op is coming from the wideness. That gives Dante a lot more room to work with when he's in there pass rushing, and he gets the sack from it. One more time, because we ain't doing nothing else. Dante's kind of lined up in this 4-eye. In the NFL, for some reason, they call it 5, like a 5 technique. But when I was playing ball, if you was lined up on head up on the tackle, you was a 4. If you was head up to inside on the tackle, you was 4-eye. In my mind, that's what it always been. But they call it 5 nowadays. But anyway, Dante's lined up here, right? And he has a corresponding edge guy there because I imagine they want the tackle to go here because Dante Fowler is going to be working there. It makes sense, right? And when 77 goes out a little wide, it creates a little more room for Dante to kind of put hands on the guard there. Last time it was a lot more speed, Dante working on the guard. This time Dante is kind of working his power, right? Man, what I said earlier, Dante kind of got one move and a counter off that move. And then like once he gets in this mode, we just running through people. Same thing, but Dante did get the sack on the old man Russell Wilson. I don't want to say Dante got this from D-Law and took it to Washington or whatever, but D-Law was kind of the first guy that I saw skip bending. And I don't even know if this the NFL name for it, but that's what Voch called on the Voch Lombardi channel. The old skip bend versus what was this, Fuaga here versus Talise Fuaga. Oh, skip bend. I seen Dante not do this very much when he was in Jacksonville and previous places, and then he gets to Dallas, and that's kind of why I'm giving Tank credit for it a little bit. And not even giving Tank credit, but maybe that's just something that he, just rubbed off on him a little bit, right? I now see Dante skip bending a little bit, right? In Washington now, because maybe he took that from Tank when he was a Cowboy. So now I can assume that when Dante gets back to the Cowboys, he'll be skip bending. And then we got one more way that Dante Fowler got busy, and this is a way that I think the Cowboys are also gonna utilize him. We've seen this in White Cotton's lineman rooms. We've seen Eberflus kind of get pressure in this way. Hey, let's just slant the fronts, man. Let's just move guys around. Let's just start you outside, slant you inside, and let's just make everything weird for you. You can actually see this humongous character, whoever he may be, working to the outside just a little bit after Dante turns into the anchor man. But Dante getting pressure from being the anchor man or the first guy is pretty hilarious. Let's keep watching. Last time was Dante being the anchor man. This time Dante is going to be the loop guy. He's going to work upfield, bam, and he's going to get inside, draw a holding penalty, and knock the ball out the quarterback's hand anyway. Who is it? The Falcons, and knock the ball out the quarterback's hands anyway. So shouts out to Dante Fowler. I will say, man, I was pleasantly surprised going back watching Dante's film. I always feel like Dante was one of the better pass rushers when he was here. He just wasn't given the opportunities. But you know, if you're going to be brought back as a double-digit sack guy, you making a little bit of money, then your ass going to be in the rotation. It just is what it is. So him being behind Micah and, you know, just kind of working around, you know, Sam and, you know, some of the other guys and, you know, Donovan Easy, I think is going to be a very interesting pass rush situation. And I think they could be top 3 in the league. I think they definitely going to get more than 50 sacks, I would say. But pressures are important too. And I think none of this is going to matter if we can't do 2 things: stop the run and put points up on offense. If we can do both those things, then pass rush is on the way. Appreciate y'all for tapping in with me, man. Love y'all 2 pieces. Hit the sub button. Trying to get to 100. Y'all hold down for the dose, squads, and peace squeeze. Until next time. Salute.